So I said, I bet you had some headaches when you stopped that, didn't you? Because there's caffeine in it. And I knew there was caffeine in it, but I've never really looked how much because I just hadn't.
Yeah.
And I Googled it, and it's 69 milligrams of caffeine
I did not know
in
that.
330 mils of Pepsi Max. All the diet ones have got high caffeine because they use it for the flavouring.
Oh.
When you read the back sides of it, it usually
Interesting.
says natural flavourings, and then it says caffeine flavouring. And you notice have you ever bought the caffeine-free ones?
Yeah, caffeine flavouring.
Yeah, have you ever bought the caffeine-free ones? They taste different. Oh. I drink them on a night, so I get better sleep.
Oh God, I literally drink Pepsi Max before I go to bed. Well, not right before, but
I do. So I drink
water
all day, and then after 6, I have a couple of glasses of Pepsi Max.
Yeah, I only have 2 cans a day, to be fair. That's not bad, is it?
Yeah, I have probably about a pint, maybe 2 pints just on a night time. But that's a lot of caffeine.
Yeah, it is, especially if you're having like a couple of coffees as well.
Unless I've misread it, but it said 12 ounces of fluid, which is about 330 mils.
Doesn't sound how much this has.
No, they don't fucking tell you. Probably because people won't drink
Sneaky.
it. Yeah, unless caffeine flavourings works differently in the body, I don't know.
Maybe.
Right, okay, episode
12.
12.
Q&A style.
Yeah, Q&A style. I'm just thinking in my head, I wonder if he's going to put in all the stuff what we've just been talking about.
If you've listened to our 12-minute speech on caffeine and Pepsi Max, sorry.
Leah is covering her top on purpose. I'm just going to out you on this.
I've spilled coffee.
She spilled coffee on her top, and she wanted to wear her hair like what's that? Where that thing comes out and it's like what is that? The Ring.
What are you on about?
That film where the hair's all over the face.
Oh, like Gollum in Lord of the Rings. That's what you're
We'll
about.
go with Gollum, yeah. I suppose my generation,
like Gollum.
you would say The Ring. It was this little girl who had all her hair in front of her face, and then she'd just pop up in the camera like. She wanted to have her hair like that to cover the coffee, but I said, I'm just going to tell everyone about the coffee.
Can't really see it, to be fair. It's dried in a bit now.
Yeah, it's dried in a bit now, and it's less. That's a nice scarf you've got there, Leah.
Thank you.
What the fuck was you on about now? This episode.
Dan's drank too many caffeinated
beverages. Yeah, 1 coffee and half a Diet Coke. Episode 12. Is that right?
Episode 12. Q&A style. We've got some good questions.
Yeah, we have got some good questions.
These are from about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when we put the question box out and then we had to rearrange the podcast.
Yeah, we rearranged the poddy. We come up here and film 2 episodes at once, don't we? So This is why we're wearing the same clothes. Leah only just spilt the coffee between, so that's why she didn't have a coffee stain now. She has got a coffee stain, in case you're wondering where that's come from. She didn't have it in the last one. Oh. So we're just on the catch up there on episode 11.
Yeah.
And now we've got some questions, which actually, you guys have sent some good questions, to be fair.
Yeah, we've got some good ones. I'm quite excited for this. And there's quite a lot of, what's the word? Variety.
Variety, yeah. Is that? I've never seen anyone describe variety like this. Oh, I've been to, them shows. What shows you been to? You know them shows? What shows? A variety show. The Queen's Variety Show at Christmas.
I talk with my hands so much, don't I? You just sit there and listen, I'm like...
Yeah, that's true, actually. Sometimes I do, though. I'd see it when
I'm so bad for it, I can't help it.
When I'm filming a reel on my phone, and I'm like...
I do it on check-ins as well, I'm like...
So do I, but I don't do loom ones. I'm like, oh, you know them things, they're about that big. Listening to the voice note, they're probably thinking, what's he on about?
Oh, God.
Right, let's reel off some of these questions because we have got some good ones.
Right, hold on.
I'm going to think for some of these ones, I think.
You are. So I'm just going to go through them in whatever order they're in. Okay, so first one.
Start with a good one so we can get them in before everyone turns the programme off.
Okay.
I've put her under pressure now. I'm joking, Leah. I'm joking. She's like, shit, I didn't make a note of the good ones.
Wait, I'm going to start with this one because you said this was a good one.
Okay.
In a previous episode, you both touched on people who've been chronically dieting, struggling to lose fat. What do you do in this situation to get fat off, or would you pull out of the diet phase?
Circumstantial, I suppose. And it depends. I mean, define chronic dieting for how long, what they've been doing, if they've just been over-dieted on a prep, or if they've just been dieting for years on end.
Yeah.
I suppose we can touch on both subjects. So, like, I had this actually, I just took over somebody's prep a couple of months ago that I kind of had this situation where they'd just been kind of...
Battered. Ooh, sorry.
There's your phone. We can't read the questions anymore because the screen's cracked. We're going to have to go home. Episode 13. Sometimes on a prep when people do it, they've just been pushed too hard, and the body,
the actual prep.
Yeah, and the body just becomes resilient. This instance, this woman had, I don't know, I think she was on like 1,100 calories. She was doing an hour and 20 minutes cardio a day, every day. I'd had no higher food days,
Yeah.
no days
No
off
refeeds or
cardio,
anything.
no, just like driven like that. So the body had stalled. So then she'd had enough. I think she wanted to change coach or whatever, and then I took her on. And in this instance, and I'm not saying this works in every instance, I suppose, but in this instance, I lifted the calories up.
Yeah.
I gave her about 4 days of higher calories, got rid of her cardio, got rid of all that stuff. And then I started cycling her food between, I think, I kind of played it. I had to stay quite low because she'd been eating low food for ages. I think I cycled it between about 1250 calories on her lower days, and then about 16 or 1700 on her higher days. And then I just started cycling it between that. So in this instance, what I did with that, I think I gave her 4 higher food days, no cardio, any fat burden she was using or anything. I pulled her off all of them as well. Just let the body settle off a little bit, regenerate itself, realise that we're not trying to murder her, which is usually the problem. That's why it slows down to start with. And then I started reintroducing lower days for like short thrashes. So it'd be like whatever it might be, 4 days, I think it was, 4 or 5 days. And then I'd take the cardio off her, give her a high food day. Like the way we always kind of do it anyway. Reset it for a couple of days, put her back on a load and stick her in. So her body realised, oh, they're not trying to kill me. And it started releasing the fat basically and allowing us to burn it off. And she'd gone from stalling and not really being able to lose any weight for 3 or 4 weeks or what it was. So then all of a sudden we was losing over 1 kilo a week. About 1.3 kilo a week, I think it was in average as I've looked back. And it just fell off. The fat just fell off. So in that instance, she just needed that. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that would class as chronic dieting, and I think more they're probably leaning towards like being dieting for years on end.
I think there's like 2 instances of this. It's like the one you said where someone is actually genuinely battered and they just need to...
I'd say that was short term.
But then you've got like chronic dieters who have kind of been dieting and then not dieting, and then are they actually in a deficit? You know what I mean?
And then the body just slows down and slows down and slows down, and then they're binging a little bit here and there because then they're trying to dig the food a bit harder to get any sort of response and all the rest of it. In that instance, and I can only talk from a bodybuilding aspect really because these are the situations that I've come into, would be, and you can probably approach this better from a lifestyle aspect of people that have been living like that for years. But these people who prep every year, prep, or they're always on prep. And I've had this with some clients as well. You just need a full reset. Full reset. So usually if they finish competing at the end of the year and we've got them through the shows as they was or whatever, or even if that's to pull people out of shows because they've come to me in the same instance that was just like that, but the body's just not doing nothing. It usually takes a full year off.
So bring the calories back up.
Bring the calories up. And unfortunately, in some instances, if it's been quite severe, just allow happen what needs to happen. And a lot
just got to ride it out a bit, kind of.
Some fat comes on, man. Some fat, and like I'm not going to lie and say it done. I'm not saying it is with everybody, but in a lot of cases, you've got to bring the calories up. And you know when someone's fucked, because every time you bring it up, even 100 calories, they're getting an extra half a kilo or a kilo on them. It's like
the body's just not responding. It
shouldn't respond like that. You should be able to creep your calories up slightly. And your body kind of
level it out
and not really do much, and then a few more weeks you can put a bit more in, and that's how you build people's food up without getting fat. There's just no solid response to that. Every time you put someone's food up a little bit, poof, the body weight comes up a little bit more. So you've just got to go with it until it fucking calms down and keep bringing it up and up, because otherwise, even if and people make this mistake, because I've had people come to me from people that have made this mistake with them, they'll be like, well, they're gaining weight on 1,800 calories, so I can't put it above 1,800 calories. Or whatever the example might be. It's probably something worse than that. So like say 1,400 calories. They're on 1,400 calories and they're gaining weight. So I can't lift it up. That's what you got to do. And you've got to go through the weight gain.
Otherwise you're never going to get
Otherwise you're never going to get out. It's like, well, I'm in a hole, so I better not try and move because I keep staying in the hole. Do you know what I mean? You've got to fucking go and just just let it come. And in this instance, it'll sometimes mean gaining a decent amount of weight. And eventually you'll hit a point where... And this always happens, it just settles. And then you're like, oh, it's stopped. And then you can carry on lifting the calories from there and lifting the calories from there and lifting the calories from there till you've got loads of calories. Yes, you are pretty out of shape and you're carrying quite a lot of fat. Unfortunately, and I'm not saying this is with everybody, but in a lot of instances when I've had to fix it, that's what you've done to yourself over the last however many years of killing yourself on prep or whatever you've been doing. If you've just been dieting for the sake of dieting, unfortunately, this is what you've done to yourself and this is how you're going to need to get out of it. Sorry. All right. Yeah. And they understand that. And a lot of them just embrace it and go through it and kind of own it. Do you know what I mean? And you might put on, God, whatever the weight is, and you might be uncomfortable. And then you're going to have to sit there for a bit. Right?
Yeah, because you can't just build up and then come back down.
You can't just get fat and then try and take it back down because your body's going to be like, no, we've just been there. Yeah. We've just got out of there. Yeah. We've stored all this energy under our skin now. We're not going to let you take it because that's all you've been trying to do for the last 5 years. So we're not going to let you do that. I always pretend the body's a person and it's talking to you because it's just, there's so many different variables that are going on with hormones and this does this and this does that. At the end of the day, the body's like this. No, we're not going to do that. You can fuck off. You've just been doing that to us. We're not going to allow you to do that anymore. So you've got to sit up there and basically, this is how I always see it, lure it into a false of, what's that word?
Sense of security.
Yeah, lure it into a false sense of security that you're never going to diet it again.
Till it gets comfortable.
Starts responding. And basically that's translation for let's all the hormones get back to normal and it lets it get like your metabolism to pick up and everything, all these things that occur from sat up there eating a decent amount of calories basically. And then after a good stint sat there, and I'm on about a good few months, so you might spend say you were starting in January, you might spend up to May until that even slows down on some people, which is quite a long time for it to continue to come up. I would recommend then that you carry on once it stops gaining weight, to carry on pushing the calories up more towards the end of the year. Sorry, I'm moving the hands. Leah's following my hand. Move things more towards the end of the year and probably not even look at doing any kind of cut until at least, say if you're starting in January, at least October, November.
So you're basically wanting the majority of the year spent away from dieting.
Yeah.
If your body's really not.
Yeah. So I've had to fix a lot. I've done a lot of these, bear in mind.
I've done these to lifestyle clients even.
Yeah.
That have like come from stupid prep style diets that they're not needed.
I've had that, but they've just been doing photo shoots repeatedly for like 3 years and things like that, and they've not even competed before. I've had to fix a lot of them, and that for me has worked the best. You have to embrace it. It is what it is. You're going to spend a year feeling like this, but then once I've fixed you, and this is what I'll tell them, and this is true, once I've fixed them, you'll never have to go through that again. Ever. You're just going to have to go through that to get out the shit that you've put yourself in, basically. Or somebody else has put you in. I'm not saying it's their fault, but from the circumstance that they've ended up in that shit. And that's what we'll do. So if you were to do it over a 12-month basis, I would really try and hold them off dieting until maybe the following January. Then calories are high as fuck. They're sick of eating. Yes, they're carrying a lot of body fat, but the body's fucking responsive. It's working again. Everything's doing what it's meant to be doing. And then we can diet from that point. And depending on how much you've got to get off, they're up for it. They're proper up for it because they've been eating all year. They're way uncomfortable. They're not happy. And then we can start getting stuck into some diets like that. Like I said on the last one, it might be in them 10-week blocks. You might diet for 10 weeks, not get near where you need to be because you're carrying a lot of fat. Break for 4 or 5 weeks or whatever, and then go back in and just then get you to where you want to be. So at a nice body fat level, which you're happy with, looks decent, all the rest of it. And because you've not had to crazy diet it down, then you can reverse nicely. It'll come up nicely. You build your calories up slowly. You're not so uncomfortable that you just start binging after the end of your diet because you've fucking killed yourself to get there. So you're not going to pile loads of fat back on. Your metabolism's still in place because you've allowed that the previous year, and then build the calories slowly from there. So you sat at your nice levels, 2,000 plus calories, a couple of cardio sessions a week, maybe if you want to keep them in for fitness or whatever. Training well, feeling well, satiated with your food,
and you're not killed yourself off.
And you're not killed yourself off. And then you look great, you're eating a decent amount of food, your body's less spongy. So and by spongy, I mean, if you have a cheat meal, you're not just going to gain 10 pounds, it's not going to come back off. You can have a cheat meal every weekend and it goes on a couple of pounds, comes off a couple of pounds, go into the next week, have your cheat meal.
Everything's just responding how it should, basically.
And then you can build flexibility in and put in freedom calories or macro tracking or calorie counting or however you want to live. And you're not going to be like, oh, I've just had a piece of chocolate. I better eat all the chocolate. You get what I mean?
In a good place from like a relationship with food perspective as well.
Yeah, that would be a better way of saying it. Yeah,
I get chocolate. What you
mean. A better relationship with food, and then you're fucking sorted. So if you have been chronically dieted to death, that is that's how I get people out of it. That never doesn't work. I've never done that, and it's not worked. I suppose from the person who was leading you's perspective, it's just recognising in them key markers of, you can tell when it's calmed down. You know from a lot from instinct, really, but experience of how long you need to keep them out of it. And then you know from the response you're getting from the person of when to diet them down, like when they're sick of eating, when they've dragged it out for a long period of time, when you know they're mentally in the right place to be dieting again. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. So you're essentially, if they're not responding, you're either kind of pulling off a bit of fatigue, putting in like the high days or the refeeds rather than hammering them all the time.
Yeah.
Or if they're still not responding, what you're doing is then just kind of sacking off the diet and going into so they're your two options for the lady that like asked that question.
Yeah, so that's for the people that are stuck on prep.
Yeah.
And then the person who's been chronically dieting for years on end, you're going to need to go through that to get back to that.
Yeah.
But to get to somewhere good, you usually have to go somewhere bad anyway.
Yeah, I've even had to do this with lifestyle clients. They're not even on like a shoot or a comp prep.
No.
They've just pushed so hard to get to where they want to be.
Chronic undereaters.
And then they're sat eating like broccoli and egg whites for dinner. Like,
yeah, because they've no choice otherwise. They just get fat.
Because the calories are so low. And I've had to do it with like bring people back up. Yeah, they've gained weight, but now they're dieting, responding, but they're not half as messed up as they were before when they were dieting.
Yeah, and they can maintain what they was looking like before, but eating a lot more.
Yeah, it's just difficult sometimes with lifestyle clients getting them to buy into that because they've come from a background of 6-7 years dieting. They don't want to spend a year building the food up.
They don't want to spend a year looking worse than they normally do.
Yeah, it's sometimes really difficult getting lifestyle clients to buy into that method.
I understand how people get trapped.
Yeah.
I understand how people get trapped, definitely, because you don't want to go through a period of something worse to get something better.
No, when you're like, I'm already uncomfortable and I want to diet, the last thing you want to do is build your food up and gain more weight, is it?
And that, I don't know what the right word was. I don't want to say the word brainwash, but like obsessed with the fact that they need to eat little to look good.
Yeah.
When that's not the case, if you take it over phases, and you've just got to go through them phases to get what I mean. But people get really locked into. Yeah,
I agree.
Like, things are bad foods and this, I can't eat that.
I have so much of that with clients, mainly like, not I don't want to say older women, but more like,
they're from that era,
from that generation.
Yeah.
That have come from.
I was talking about this the other day, and I was taking the piss to somebody, because what they did then was, they drank a Diet Coke a day, ate lettuce and an apple, and that was like the supermodel diet, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just
one apple,
mad.
lettuce, and Diet Coke.
Like even like the slimming clubs and stuff, like the way they talk about food and stuff.
Yeah. It's that generation. So you're right. Actually, the people who are a little bit not younger do go through that, and they're frightened of like fats
and carbs. I can't eat bread; it makes me bloat. Like that sort of mindset.
Yeah. Bread, I cut all the bread out and I lost loads of weight.
Yeah.
It's not because it was bread. It's calories that you
it is mainly that.
Yeah, although they're frightened of peanut butter, frightened of nuts, frightened of things like that.
All the fats.
Yeah. So frightened of food, I suppose.
Definitely. So I think that the other thing that I was going to add on to that is if you're saying you're chronically dieted, and your body's not responding, are you actually sticking? Like obviously when it's a prep situation, you probably need to maybe come out and bring your food up. But if you're not on prep and you're saying, I've been dieting for all this time, I'm not responding, are you actually genuinely sticking to what you're meant to be sticking to? Because if you're doing it for a bit and then you're going off and having a weekend off or doing what you want, you'll say, I've been on a diet for a year, but actually have you really been on a diet for a year?
No, just maybe 5 days a week.
Yeah, so sometimes it's like,
you need to commit.
Yeah, just actually get your job done, get your fat loss phase done, and then you're not upping and down all the time. You can just crack on with it.
Otherwise, you're just in a deficit and then fucking it up once a week, once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, you end up dieting forever.
Dieting's momentum.
Yeah,
innit? I always say to people, dieting's momentum.
Yeah.
You can't just do it part time. You need to diet all week, every week, and then the momentum builds and it builds and builds. And you know yourself, you'll sometimes put people into a cut. And say you pull in let's just use numbers, which I don't like to do, but let's just say you've pulled them down to like 1,700 calories or 1,600, where they would be in a deficit, And then the first few weeks, not a lot happens. You'll see this sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. And then all of a sudden on that third week, it just takes off. And it's like, wait for it, boom, and then it just goes.
Yeah.
So I suppose as the person leading as well, it's that bit of not losing your head as the coach.
Yeah.
Being like, they need less food. Just wait a minute, cause it's gonna go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
it does.
You'll get that sometimes. Pull clients' calories down, and nothing really happens.
No, that's why.
And then you just have to hold it for a bit.
Yeah, that's why I do the measurements with them, because sometimes the weight doesn't move. But the measurements are moving loads, and you're like, look, it's moving. Just get rid of that, and then all of a sudden the weight starts going with it.
Yeah,
it's mad all the different scenarios that actually occur, and I think you'll know after dieting people a lot over the years, you're used to pretty much every situation.
Yeah,
it's not often something comes up where you're like. gets too
Yeah.
stuck. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of time people freak out as well because like, but I've stuck to everything for the week. I've got this a lot with more lifestyle clients. Like, I've stuck to everything. I've done all my cardio. I've hit all my meals. Like, and I've gained weight. And then they'll lose the head. And I'm like, no, like it's just you just need to keep going. Like, give it a good 3-4 weeks. Get everything boxed off, and it'll move back down again.
Yeah. Whatever reason it's gone up.
Yeah.
You don't gain fat from sticking to a
Hopefully
deficit.
that's answered that question.
I reckon.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good.
I think it's covered. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Okay, next. So, any specific advice? God, I can't talk today. Any specific advice for women over 50 who train regularly already, thinking about competing? So, basically, advice for getting into competing. I'd say it's pretty much it's similar to anyone, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
no different to anything else.
Make sure you've got enough muscle. Make sure you've got enough training history.
Yeah.
Make sure you spent time in an off season building your food up, getting your meals and your structure sorted and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's not really any.
I suppose. I don't know why. I suppose the age is mentioned really, apart from unless you've got things to work around, or if your body's not as responsive from hormonal reasons. If you've gone through the menopause or whatever, then that's a different kettle of fish already. That probably we shouldn't really be giving advice on because that's more of a doctor's area of expertise. But like I've got loads of women.
You've got like masters clients and,
but loads of masters,
that all look amazing.
Yeah, mid to late 40s, early 50s sometimes, and they look class. I don't treat them any differently. The only thing that sometimes might change is the exercise selection a little bit if they struggle with. You'll notice this, that the older your clients are, generally they've had some sort of like, I've done my back in at this point, or I've had a knee at this.
Tweak or
so there's
something.
little things like that, obviously, but that's just, that occurs through people's lives. It's not anything.
General wear and tear.
Yeah, but if a 21-year-old had a bad knee, I'd work around that. Just, do you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, so the approach basically is the same regardless of their age. Like, you still need to make sure like your fundamentals are there. Like
you need to be able to train, eat all your food, and have enough muscle to get on stage, and then you diet and get on stage.
Yeah.
A lot of the time it looks better.
Yeah.
Because they've got like that harder look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess the only difference would be if someone's maybe getting towards that age and they're like getting into training. Like if they haven't got much muscle already.
Yeah.
And they're getting into training, then I guess it's potentially a little bit.
The fundamentals still won't change though, would they?
No.
You still have to eat all the food.
Yeah.
You still have to train like fuck.
Yeah.
Then when it comes to diet time, you still have to diet like fuck.
Yeah.
Would they get the same response as somebody in their early 20s? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
Would someone with bad genetics in their early 20s get the same response as someone with good genetics in their early 50s? Probably not.
Yeah.
It's too broad of a, like, just go to gym, eat all your food, train like fuck, and then see what happens. If it's not happening, maybe it's not for you. Do you know what I mean? That's unfortunately, and I'm sorry for saying that so abruptly, but like, if you can't run, don't run races. If you can't throw hoops, don't play basketball.
Yeah.
If your body's not growing muscle when you train weights and eat food, probably don't do bodybuilding.
Yeah, and you can still make a ton of progress without.
Yeah.
If you're not maybe building muscle as well as you want to.
You still get stronger and be healthy from it. It just not everybody's body responds to muscle growth, so I don't really think that's age dependent that much. Do you know what I mean?
So on like you as a person rather than the age specifically.
Yeah, and I can imagine how it's easy to not think that from somebody from the bodybuilding industry, but we see how good some of these women are in their mid to late 40s, sometimes early 50s that are still competing.
Yeah.
They look class, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of the like the figure girls in like the like an NPC and stuff like that, a lot of them are actually a bit
most of them
older,
are older,
aren't they?
Yeah, most of them are older because they've been training longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I reckon that question's more based on what you said, that they're maybe getting into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do the same as what everybody else is doing.
It's the same fundamentals, isn't it?
Work around your injuries.
Yeah.
And that's all you can do.
Get all your meals in, make sure you've got a good structure, make sure you're eating enough food to build the muscle as well.
Yeah.
Okay, how to tell family members about prep and the weight loss. Sit down and have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
I think just be honest. I think the best thing to do is just explain what you're doing, because it looks a bit weird from the outside if your family aren't like clued up with it.
Used to it. To be honest, like my mum and dad and that were all fucking class with bodybuilding.
So am mine.
Yeah, but I do remember my mum on the first prep I did, and some of my older relatives being like, "Are you okay, Daniel? You look like you're gonna die. Do
you look a bit ill today."
You look a bit. That's the worst thing. I remember going to see my auntie. It was my great auntie actually, and she's like a lot older. When I was like 2 weeks out or something, because we'd go there every weekend or whatever. And And she'd be like, oh, Daniel, you look very skinny. The last thing you want to hear as a bodybuilder. And obviously she didn't mean it like that.
Yeah.
She just meant like drawn in or whatever.
Yeah.
But in your head at the time, you're like 2 weeks out and you're like, fuck, I look small.
Yeah, I know
I
what
look
you
small.
Yeah.
Just flip the perspective a little bit and just imagine it from your family's point of view. It's probably my advice.
Yeah, they've got your like best, most of the time, they've got your best interest.
Yeah. And they don't follow it on Instagram. They don't give a shit about bodybuilding. They just want to make sure that you're all right.
Yeah.
So don't get frustrated with them that they're not understanding it, or that they're concerned about you, or that they're still eating bags of crisps while you're dieting 4 weeks out and you're living in your family home or whatever. Like, they're not bodybuilding, you are. So you need to be more understanding than they do in a lot of aspects, which is what I see people kicking off on the first preps. Oh, well, they was eating a fucking Mars bar, and like, yeah, so what? Like, that's a you problem, not a them problem.
Yeah.
They don't need to be not eating Mars bars because you're on a bodybuilding prep.
Yeah.
It's
even the same on a diet though. Like, I think like it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. Like, you've got your goals. Like, focus on what you're doing. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing.
Stop being mardy about everyone else. So I think a lot of the time it's that needed from the bodybuilder as opposed to the actual family. But apart from that, just explaining to them, like, look, I'm going to be trying to get bigger for a bit, so I might look a bit fat sometimes. Try not to call me fat. I'm going to be dieting for a bodybuilding show, so I'm probably going to look a bit ill towards the end because I'm taking my body fat off.
Yeah.
I'm not ill. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm well fed to a degree, but I've got all important nutrition inside of me. But I'm eating less than I need to take body fat off. It's for a very short period of time. Mm-hmm. No, it's fine. I'll be okay. I'll recover from it. There'll be nothing wrong, but it might look a bit weird. So maybe try not to comment on it if you want to say something negative.
Yeah.
If you can help it, but please don't worry.
Yeah.
And then any sound rational parent will be like, all right.
Yeah. No, I agree. And you're going to get the odd comment or the odd, like, I still get that sometimes. But...
Yeah, I'm bloody hell. If Daphne was, I am me. I'm me. And if Daphne's dieting if she decides to be a bodybuilder when she's older in 15 years, she's prepped out her head and looks a bit fucked some days, I'm going to be worried about her. And that's from me. Do you know what I mean?
It's human nature, isn't it?
It's your mum and dad. Like,
I
think until you've had kids, you can't really grasp how, do you know what I mean? Like, so they're going to be worried. But just reassure them and explain it to them, and that's all you can do.
Yeah.
And
when they get more involved with it as well, they'll understand. Like, I feel like my mum and dad are so good now. Like, they know the right things to say. They get it. They've come to watch a few shows.
Yeah, they get it.
Like, they're actually quite clued up. Like, they know how all the stage works. Like, it's quite nice, actually.
Yeah, my mum and dad was right into it, especially my dad.
Yeah, it's quite nice, isn't it, when they get... But I have had a client, actually, who has a relative who is really not nice about it and makes horrible comments.
Yeah.
Luckily, they don't live together, but... some of the stuff like she's told me, it's horrible what things have been said.
They're just wankers, aren't they?
Yeah, and I just think it's just some people are just never gonna grasp it, are they?
They'd probably do it if they was doing something else as well. Some people just don't like to see people doing stuff sometimes, unfortunately. Which
is horrible. More of Dan's old disgusting training ideas to try. 101 is my new favourite. We were just saying this before, like how many client check-ins have you had where they're like, I've tried what you said on the podcast.
Everyone's been doing 101s. So for anyone who's watching this one for the first time, 101s was how I used to start a lot of my leg sessions. Basically, it was a 101 rep drop set, starting with, obviously I was pretty strong, so I was leg extension in the stack. And then I'd just do whatever I could get out of that, which was usually about 30 odd reps, 40 reps, which is why I started doing it to start with, because I was smashing the stack in. And then I'd just go down the stack until I hit 101 reps. Another one that I used to do was rack runs. And I get a few clients doing this now, actually. I've got melon rack runs.
I haven't heard of that.
Try and bring a delt. Yeah, because you are Leah Delts, aren't you? You didn't need an extra delt. One thing Leah didn't need ever, delts. Rack runs is, and this is how actually I brung, my Meg.
Yeah.
And this is how I brung her shoulders up from 2021 to 23 when she won the Universe and got a pro. So obviously, especially with her being like natty and not blessed in shoulders, she's big, massive legs, hasn't she?
Yeah.
And we had to really go like fuck to bring her shoulders up. And this is how we brung her shoulders up. And I was doing these with Mel last week, actually, when she come to see us. So rack runs is basically side laterals. And you'll start with a weight. Let's just use example weights. Like, so obviously you would break it down to whatever you do. So say you've got like the 5s, the 10s, the 15s, and then the 20s, all right, kilos. Obviously the girls won't be doing this, but let's just say for a boy. So you do 10 reps on the 5s, 10 reps on the 10s, 10 reps on the 15s, get the 20s, go to failure, and then you go back down the rack.
Oh, so you start from the lowest and work up to the
So
highest.
it's ascending and descending, but you need to. That's why you just do 10 reps on the way up because it's easy.
Burn yourself out.
It's just volume. Basically. It's just volume to death. So 10 reps on the 5s, 10 reps on the 10s, 10 reps on the 15s. Pick up the 20s, go to total failure, and then back to the 15s, total failure.
Yeah.
Back to the 10s, total failure. Back to the 5s, total failure, and then you go back to the 20s or something heavy and do penguins, which is just partials, but I call them penguins.
I love that.
Because you look like a penguin when you're doing like that. So that's why you'll pick up a big pair of heavier ones. Don't let them touch your legs. Don't let them touch your sides. Just hold it like you would be doing like a thing like that, and then just come up to there. So not even anywhere near up there. But you don't let it touch your legs.
Right.
And you just go till the fucking burn to death. Don't let it touch your legs. Don't go too high. And you just like that. And it looks like the smallest movement ever, and they fucking kill.
Yeah, because you've just done all that as well.
After you've done all that. So I would start a lot of my shoulder sessions with 3 sets of rack runs.
3 sets?
Yeah, 3 sets of rack. I loved volume and mad stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people did then. It was quite intense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it did. When JP came along, everything changed to the way everybody trained. But that's how a lot of the old school bodybuilders trained, just doing loads of mad shit like that. And it worked real good.
Yeah.
And it was fun as well.
And also, it's a bit like, sometimes it is a bit boring just sat around in the gym all the time, isn't it? So I guess if you're doing stuff like that, it's a bit more
and that's before you've even started doing any presses. Do you know what I mean? So they're great for 2 reasons, especially for quads and delts. I feel like volume in isolation is really a good thing. So I would come in and do, say, all my rack runs, so 3 sets of that. So you fucking can't even take a drink before you even started the session. And then you start, we didn't do a push, we did shoulders on, then chest on a different day. But then you do 2 pressing exercises, then go back to some other lat roll, and then you'd maybe do your triceps after that or whatever. But that's how I got, so I think 2 or 3 times a week I got Megan to do that before she started training anything else.
Yeah.
So she'd do it before upper and before push. And then I think we tried putting some in. I don't think we did full rack runs before one of the lower sessions as well, I think. I can't remember. I'd have to look back through Meg's stuff to see. But it fucking worked. Yeah. They came up like crazy and she's still doing them now.
Yeah.
So that's another disgusting one.
We'll see what the feedback is for that then this week. People will definitely get
Obviously,
on that.
the girls will do them with smaller work. They'll probably start like 2.5s, 5s, and then maybe 7.5s.
Yeah, I'd say maybe 7s and 8s is probably most girls go up to.
Yeah, especially after you've just done 20 reps before it, and then you come back down and go to failure each time. Then maybe pick up a pair of 10s or 12s and just penguin them till you die.
Penguin them.
So there you go. People are asking for mad stuff from training.
Wow, I like that one. That sounds fun.
That was a fun way to train. It was fun times. Come in, put AC/DC on, and just go fucking mental for an hour and then leave. But that's why I only used to train for about 45, 50 minutes. Because you're actually training the whole time. You're not stood around. Oh, no, he never stopped. Yeah. Jesus Christ. No, we didn't even talk. Me and my training partner didn't even talk to each other.
Yeah.
We wouldn't talk in a training session. You know, I see people on the phones and that.
Yeah.
Phones didn't come out of locker rooms.
Yeah.
A few words might have been spoken here and there when we was passing weights. But we used to see it like, it's not like this anymore because it's totally different. We used to, if you're talking in the gym, you're a fucking faggot. Like, why are they talking while they're training? They can't be training very hard because they're talking to each other. Yeah. You get what I mean? So we'd have a good chat before we started, go in, turn the music up, put our phones away, go fucking mental for about 50 minutes, screaming and fucking going mad. And then just leave the session and then carry on talking again. Yeah. We'll get our phones and check our phones.
I do think that's a good idea though with the phones because it is a bit distracting, isn't it, when you're training and then you're trying to like reply to people.
I did that all the way up until I stopped bodybuilding in 2021.
Yeah.
Now I have my phone in the gym because I wouldn't even have it to have music on because I'd find it distracting. So I would have something different to have my music on or whatever. But to be honest, I never wore headphones anyway. That's something else I didn't do when I was bodybuilding. I didn't wear earphones.
Yeah.
I just found that distracting as well. It's a bit of a fucking weirdo.
Well, it worked whatever you did, so.
Yeah, it worked all right, yeah. I enjoyed it like that. It was intense.
Yeah. Topic. This is not a question, it's just more of a big statement. Personally, I'm just going to read the whole thing. Personally think it's wrong that junior bikini is available in every federation and junior figure is only promoted in tubos. The muscle mass required for figure, especially as a young female athlete, is immense, especially when comparing to athletes with more mature muscle. In my opinion, junior bikini isn't as needed and junior figure would definitely make more sense for federations to include. Thoughts? Initial thoughts?
Incorrect.
Reason?
In IFB, so this is, you're talking about PCA there?
I just think generally.
Oh, I thought didn't they say there's a junior one in
Is there
IFBB,
junior
is that what
figure
they've said?
in Two Bros?
Is that what they've said?
They've said, personally think it's wrong that junior bikini is available in every federation and junior figure is only promoted in Two Bros.
Oh, so
Is there junior figure in Two Bros?
I didn't know there was, but there
No, I
must
didn't know
be.
there was either.
Yeah, I disagree. Figure in Two Bros and figure in PCA is two totally different things. So figure in Two Bros is across at amateur level between athletic figure and trained figure, more towards the trained as it gets to a higher level generally. If that was the case in PCA where there was only top-end athletic and trained, then I completely agree.
But they've got toned, which is essentially like a bit of a bridge, isn't it?
They've got toned, which and the junior goes up to all the way up to 24. So it's 23 up until you turn 24, which I don't think that's young, personally. Sorry, what did I just say? That's not particularly young. 23 and 24 is not young, is it? That's a decent age.
Yeah.
You had a good time in the gym.
Yeah.
Up until then.
Most people.
So yeah, I've had loads of clients who have competed at top level at British and they're like 20, 21.
Yeah, even in the athletic and stuff like that.
Yeah, even in athletics sometimes, but they're just talking toned, which is where you would entry at.
Yeah.
So entry point would be toned figure.
Yeah, yeah.
So you've got the three categories basically, and that's why a lot of the trained figure women are older. You don't really see many young ones.
Yeah.
Athletic people, some of them are young, but generally they're mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
And then there's loads of 20. I mean, Sanaya won the British at 20. She was 20 years old in toned figure.
You don't need tons of
You don't need loads of muscle at all, no. So that's why, because then what would you do? Then you'd have to have junior toned,
how would that
junior
work?
athletic, junior trained. So then you've got three different subcategories, and then really you'd need to give them a master's
And
as well.
sometimes there's height classes as well in the
and then you'd need
classes.
to, so Two Bros is only one figure class, so of course you can have junior. But when you've got three subcategories for figure to accommodate less muscle mass and more muscle mass, then I wouldn't really say you need.
I do think in Two Bros, I do think it is like a massive between bikini and figure.
Yeah.
I do think that is like I think
night and
PCA do
day.
it really well because they've got all their like subcategories.
Yeah, and I think the main reason that probably is because bikini is probably more just because there's so many of them that you need to start breaking them down a little bit more.
Yeah.
So they'll get a juniors and a masters, and then there's like at the British four height categories. Do you know what I mean? And then you'll have the juniors with 2 or 3 height categories and the masters. So there's so many of them, they need to break them down in some other ways, and that's the main reason that they do it. Whereas figures never like that. You might get one tone figure class, or maybe 2.
Yeah.
Then one athletic, or maybe 2. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, and also in bikini, there's already, there's trained and toned bikini. So there's already like 2, and then there's masters, obviously. But in figure, you've already got 3 divisions, so you wouldn't. Yeah.
Which accommodates. I don't think the age thing really needs accommodating.
But I do think in terms of in terms of Two Bros, you just wouldn't go into Two Bros if you were a new figure competitor. You'd probably do maybe do toned in PCA or do FitX or NFM, and then as you get older and you get more muscle mass, then you would go into Two Bros into figure.
Yeah, because the figure still needs to look like figure even though it's junior.
Yeah.
And I do understand that they need some time to catch up to them older people. I get that.
Yeah.
Which is why they've got a junior, but for PCA you would just do toned.
Do toned, yeah.
Yeah. Or if you've got so much muscle and condition that you can do athletic, then you should be doing normal athletic anyways.
Yeah.
I've had and on the other end of the spectrum as well. I've had plenty of girls late 30s, early 40s doing exceptionally well in the figure categories, toned and athletic. And I've had girls 19, 20 doing exceptionally well in toned and athletic as well. So I don't think so personally.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. To be honest, I think there's enough within it already.
Whoever's asked that question shouting at the TV right now.
Sorry.
You wankers.
Let me find my next question. Have I done those? I'm just making sure I've not missed any. Done that. We've done that. We've done that. Okay, right. This is a long one. Difference between how a natty is prepped versus an assisted person, and then it's just like everything. So difference in off season. Is there more or less training frequency, more or less volume, more or less food? Everyone's different, but if you have the same person in front of you, what would be the differences in their journey? Natty versus not natty.
Good question. I think training volume, I don't see a difference because the amount of times, for me anyway, I can't talk about everyone else, but for me with clients, the amount of time that they are assisted, and we're talking for muscle growth generally and muscle retention on prep.
Yeah.
With anabolics, which would just be a little bit of Anavar usually.
Yeah.
That it wouldn't warrant a difference in training volume because I cap that at twice a year maximum, anywhere between 5 to 7, maybe 8 weeks. As the amount of time that they're on it to keep the exposure down.
Yeah.
Because devil's in the duration for that stuff. I don't want any girls talking with funny voices or looking different or any of the shit that comes with hammering it.
You don't want to stretch anabolics all the way through a
so I think I can only talk for myself, and I know a lot of people don't. I always get, Dan must give them loads of gear and all that because they look so wham. But loads of my clients, we use the tiniest possible amount, never ram it, and a very short stint of time, twice a year.
And a lot of people don't even take anything in their off season anyway.
And that's maximum. So most of them don't really always do things in the off season anyways, unless they want to. And then in which case I'll say, we'll just do it once. So generally just doing it that last 6 to 8 weeks of prep.
Yeah.
And that's it. So from a recovery standpoint, that's probably helpful for a very short space of time at the back end of prep.
Yeah.
Probably not that noticeable for the amount of time that I put them on it in the off season. If they do it, it's not worth fucking about with the training for that. Do you know what I mean?
For that short stint of time.
For that short stint of time, it's no point in that. So that would be from the growth aspect, I suppose, and the training volume aspects and recoverable aspects.
Yeah.
From a fat loss, so
more or less. So just to touch on that a bit more as well, more or less training frequency. So I guess obviously you can't speak about this, but if for someone who is more assisted through an off season, then they will be able to probably get away with a little bit more because the recovery is going to be better.
Probably. But then it's sometimes, yes. Short answer, yes. Sometimes double-edged sword because they're able to train harder and heavier.
Yeah.
So sometimes their nervous system takes more of a battering because they're lifting more during them stints and they're stronger through them stints.
Yeah.
So then the nervous system's the actual bit that starts to break down. So because they're pushing the body past the boundaries for long periods of time of what they're actually accumulating, then they sometimes maybe need more rest, maybe. I'm not saying they would, but it's kind of maybe balances itself back out.
I get you.
Because what you recover from muscular-wise doesn't necessarily mean your CNS is recovering.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you know what I mean?
Especially if you're battering it.
Yeah.
So more or less food and cardio. So from a fat loss perspective, so if you're talking about maybe someone that's taken fat burners or something like that.
So to finish the back end of the off-season question, they're generally going to need longer off-seasons as well if they want to accumulate some muscle because they're going to go through longer periods between competing to make sure they're recovered because then the preps are longer.
Yeah.
So that kind of ties into the prep side of things because you're able to do things when you're smashing a bit of Clen T3 here and there to whip some fat off, which is a lot quicker than what you are. Even in off-season cuts, do you know what I mean? Personally, I don't use T3 in off-season cuts, but a bit of Clen will make things come off a little bit quicker. So you can get round to prepping again sometimes a little bit faster. But generally, natty girls will take longer off-seasons, generally. Because then, leading back around, the preps are usually a little bit longer, unless you've gotten to a point where they're able to maintain some decent amount of condition on high food and then come down from there. But I'll usually set things out a little bit longer for a natty prep, because you're not able to intervene with T3. If people want to use T3, which basically means the thyroid medication, which the thyroid will start to downregulate a little bit the longer you diet, or the more intense that you try to diet. Which in that case, you can substitute some T3 and to allow things to keep moving. You ain't got that choice.
Yeah.
So on a natty prep, you would need to put them back into maintenance for a bit, get rid of the cardio, let the body kind of refire itself up, shall we say, a little bit before then pushing them back in. So you've got to kind of take them blocks into account that you might need. So I would say from a diet standpoint, allow longer and allow more recovery time in the prep. But from an off-season standpoint, I don't change anything personally. Yeah,
there's not going to be, especially with what you do as well, there's not going to be a huge difference because it's very minimal anyway. I think some people think it's night and day, whereas actually it's very...
Yeah, and I understand that from a natty's point of view because they think... I mean, if you start hammering it, there is.
Yeah.
But for women, you don't want to be doing that because, you'll end up with a daft voice and fucking... It just changed. Unless you want to do that to yourself, that's up to you. But me personally, I do not want to do that to any client ever, which is why, as you know, I'm extremely minimal with everything that I do purposely. But it happens. I have clients coming to me that have just finished running 20-week primo cycles and then thrown Anavar in for the last 8 weeks. And I'm like, I'm like, fucking hell. Do you know what I mean?
Risky.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it changes things.
Yeah. Yeah, so essentially...
Don't get me wrong. If I could get away with that, I'd be all over it. If it didn't change anything, because then people that have done that, and then... So say I've had some people come, and I've had this a couple of times, and they're already on the prep.
Yeah.
And they've already started primo fucking 16 weeks out, whatever the coach has put them on, and I've took over the prep at like 10 weeks out, whatever, to try and help somebody out. And then I leave them on it. Bloody hell, the difference in response is absolutely mental. Like, it's night and day different. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, what you can get away with and how fast things come and all the rest of it. It's just a piece of piss.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have to work around all of that normally because I'm trying to keep them all like they are. But a couple of instances where I've been in that situation, the bodies are just like boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, Jesus,
like
this is easy. Wish I could do this all the time.
Everyone's just losing loads of weight every week.
Basically, yeah, and just getting harder and fucking leaner really quickly. Better. But I would not advise that, ladies. Be careful with what advice you're taking on board with using steroids and things like that.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of information out there that, in my opinion, correct. And we have the old debates between different types of steroids and things like that. And things that on paper are more safe than other things are not. It don't play
in real life.
It doesn't play out like that, honestly. So just be careful what advice you are taking, because there's a lot of shit being touted now, and there has been for the last few years since the science brigades got involved with, well, this is less than this, and this is this and this, and if you're an idiot if you use this, it don't play out like that. Trust me, I've got a lot of experience in the industry. A lot more than probably anybody that I can think of, being honest, working with women over the last 10, 15 years. So I would know. I speak to a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay, this is the last one. This is not really a question, but about the bowel one.
The bowel.
TMI, but bowels of a bodybuilder, prep versus off-season. I think this is potentially someone that's struggling with their
I didn't know the prep versus off-season bit when you first said it.
I don't think I said that.
No, you just went to me.
Bowels of a bodybuilder.
I've got one. TMI, bowels of a bodybuilder. I was like, okay, we can run that if you want.
They haven't asked a question, but I think they just mean generally, like...
Well, I suppose it is a question, off-season versus thing.
Yeah.
Prep. Things slow down on prep.
You're eating less food,
I'm always fighting people's shitting habits, but I think I've got it down to quite a good art, if I'm honest. So staples that I'll always try and include in people's, and I won't go into Leah's private toilet. Not that she's had any. She's a straightforward case, let's put it that way. She's a straightforward case, but many women are definitely not.
Yeah.
But on prep, so what do I usually try and include in there? So obviously first and foremost, try and make sure everyone's drinking enough water.
Yeah.
Which is often a big problem with people. And not over consuming like fucking loads of sweeteners and things like that, like all the time. They're the first things, but I'll always make sure they're doing some decent fibre. So not just from vegetables, because that obviously sometimes too much vegetables can have the opposite effect.
Yeah, if there's too much of it.
Because they're different types of fibre. So I'll always use psyllium husk, as you know.
Yeah.
I'll have that in there anywhere from 500 milligrams to 3,000 milligram per day, depending on the person and what they need, to make sure things keep moving. As food volume comes down, and the different types of food, and they're not stimulating the bowel by eating like fucking pizza on a Saturday night, and it just sometimes really wants to slow down. Not that pizza stimulate bowels, but junk food just keeps things moving, doesn't it? Sometimes, if they're doing that.
Just like repetitive food sources, less food.
Yeah,
it
bland.
Yeah.
Like it sometimes slows things down as fat. It's the fat amount that they use in your foods as well. It just all accumulates into one problem sometimes. So what I implement is psyllium husk between 500 and 3,000 milligrams per day, depending on the person, spread out. 500 milligrams usually one capsule. So every AM and PM, I'll start breaking it down into the days. A pre and probiotic, a good pre and probiotic, sometimes with a digestive enzyme with it as well, is extremely helpful. A couple of times a day, that can often be the massive missing link, pre and probiotic.
You can get like supplements that combo them together as well, so it's got like all of them in one, like the Strom Digest Max.
I use Supplement Needs. Yeah, actually, because because Digest Max has got the fibre in as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got psyllium husk, the pro and the.
Sorry, Leah, go on.
Sorry. No,
that was my fault. I'm sorry.
It's got all three.
I just get a bit like, I'm talking about poos, yeah. I'm talking about poo. Poo talk. I like to be able to break them down. So I want to be able to up the psyllium husk and then move this, and like I like to be able to move stuff. I don't really want a combi one personally with the fibre and everything like that, because if I need them to have more pre and probiotics, I don't want to be then ramping the fibre through the roof.
I think that's just been straightforward for me because it's never really changed. So
yours is all right. Yeah,
like if you don't really have any issues, you can get away with it.
So and then as well, and through the off season, I don't really use the pre and probiotics as much.
Yeah.
I'm usually more of a prep thing if they need it. Maybe the digestive enzymes with a little bit of older clients, because I think as you get older, you don't absorb your food as well. I've noticed that with people, so sometimes putting that in is quite helpful. But anyway, psyllium husk, pre and probiotic combi. If it's got a digestive enzyme in it, great. They're the main things. What's the other thing? So one thing that sometimes will help some people is keeping a good hydration supplement in. So sometimes you'll get a jam and then nothing's moving it. You'll get them to add
Hydroflow or something.
Yeah, Hydroflow. I like the supplement needs one. I'll use that. Add that in there, and then all of a sudden things will start moving again. It's almost as if the bowel itself starts to get dehydrated inside a little bit. If things have been stuck for a bit and what have you, I'll put that in and that'll kickstart things working again. And then I'll disencourage them from, them fucking sorry to swear again. Them calorie-free sauce
skinny syrup sauces.
Oh, fucking, them things cause more aggro than they're worth them.
They are disgusting.
They just wreck people's guts. And I've never, do you know what? I've never even tasted one. I would not eat that if you paid me to eat it. I don't know what the fuck's in it that makes it taste like something it's not, because there's no calories in it, so I don't know what it is. It's nothing. I mean,
they're not great anyway.
It's nothing you want to be pouring all over your food, in my opinion. And I know people use them and they thrive off them and what have you because it gets them through, but they cause a lot of problems for clients' guts. And as soon as I'll get to cut all them out, stomach looks a lot flatter. They're going a lot better. And everything starts to regulate itself. So psyllium husk, pre-probiotic with digestive enzyme, hydration supplement if it's needed, and stop putting shit in your body that your body doesn't need as well.
Maybe just stripping back your diet a bit sometimes.
Make sure you're drinking
clean it up a bit.
Make sure you're drinking more water than frigging diet, and I don't mean them Volvic flavoured waters either. Do you know what I mean?
Just straight
drink
water.
some water. Do you know what I mean? Put a lemon in it if you need to. Which sounds a little bit old school and basic, and I know the new generation likes to just drink all this shit, but eventually over time it does catch up on your gut. It definitely does catch up.
Especially on prep when you're drinking a lot. Like I was drinking when I was hungry, I was drinking 6 litres fluid a day.
And if you're using them sweetened versions of
or even squash or the Volvics, couple of Diet Cokes, quickly catches up with you, doesn't it?
So I think, sorry, I don't know if I kicked you
It's
again.
all right, my feet are tucked under the
From
chair.
the last time, did you?
Can't be anymore.
And that's how I generally keep everybody moving. And so now it's this, when I first got into coaching years back, this was a massive problem. Because for guys, it's not really a thing. So when I started coming across it, I was like, why are all these people struggling to shit? Do you know what I mean? And so I just had to learn, again, it was back in the day when none of this information was available to anybody. I had to figure it out. Why are they all of a sudden stopping shitting? What's going on? What do I need to add? Blah, blah, blah. And that's how I come up with that little cocktail of keeping things flowing. And it's rare that I get any problems, and if I do, it's then generally people that just have them problems anyway.
Some people just have a bit more sensitive stomachs, aren't they?
That, and then obviously we've got the other things what we come up against, which is if people's sleep goes to knack.
And a bit more stressed.
If your sleep goes to shit, usually your toilets go with it a little bit as well. Time of the month. Usually the week leading into it, you know what I mean? They probably didn't. The week leading into it, that usually starts not being very well as well, but people know that and they accept that. But if they're not if they've never noticed it as much in the off-season, then it starts happening when they're on prep. They're like, oh, it's thingy, and then I'm like, you do one in 3 days, it'll sort itself out after that, don't worry. And that's about it really. Not over-consuming too much dark greens in a lot of instances.
Not smashing 20 bags of salad on prep.
It's usually if they're overeating loads of broccoli or loads of something like that, it actually, because it makes people fat, they think that it's helping them go to the toilet. But usually if something's making you fat a lot, that's distress. And that's it actually saying, this isn't good.
It's very fibrous, isn't it? The broccoli and stuff.
Because obviously you've got your 2 different types of fibre, You're soluble and insoluble. And if you're hammering too much in one direction, you're going to start getting problems. It's got to be balanced. So I'll always, if people are really struggling, I'll make them weigh the veg.
Right, so it's consistent and they're not
so I'll just say, look, don't...
add an extra broccoli onto each meal.
Well, some people eat a full head. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I was definitely eating a full head of broccoli on prep.
I'm not just, before anyone goes into that, I'm not saying that will give everyone problems.
Everyone's different, aren't they?
But in some instances, and not just broccoli, that was just a random example that I threw out there. But people will really start taking the piss, going too mad, and it can sometimes distress and off balance the digestion, and then all of a sudden they can't go properly because of that, and they're just farting a lot.
Fun times.
Yeah. Windy bum.
Windy bum. That was the last one.
Was it really?
Whiz through those. I mean, I don't know if we did whiz through them, but...
How long have we been going?
No.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
We
wrap
better
up.
stop.
That's the last question.
Yeah, that's the last question. How did that? We only did 3 questions, didn't we?
No, we did. We did like 8.
Did we really? I only remember 3.
We only did 3 questions. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Shit.
7 questions.
Oh, I was thinking we was not talking enough.
That's it.
We did 7 questions in an hour. That's
Well,
real good.
good.
That. See, a minute ago, I was like, how the fuck did we do 3 questions in an hour? And now I'm like, we did 7 questions in an hour.
Yeah.
It's all perspective.
Yeah, it is. And I think the next one is the live one.
Shit, it probably will be, won't it? 11.
Yeah, it will.
10th of May. What date is it today? It's like the 7th or 8th of
It's
April.
the 8th, so
8th of April today, isn't it?
we might be another one in between. We'll see.
We'll
see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll figure it out.
But yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. Cheers.
Fab. Bye, guys.